going back to the 10th of November because it's been almost a month ago. And when I say we need to go back to the 10th of November, I say it because of many reasons. I say without the 10th of November, we wouldn't have 35 occupations up and down the country. Without the 10th of November, we wouldn't have 130,000 students participating in every day of action that has been called so far. Without the 10th of November, we wouldn't have trade unionists, school students sitting in this room discussing about the next steps for the movement. And without the 10th of November, I believe we wouldn't be talking about shutting down London on the 9th of December, 1 month after the events at Millbank. And I think that's something explicitly crazy about this situation. Because if you look at YouTube videos nowadays, you can see solidarity demonstrations in France with the British students. You can hear Greek students chanting, if they say cut back, we say fight back. Spanish CNT, the anarcho-syndicalist union, calling solidarity demonstrations and using education activist banners in their halls. And so I think it's really exciting what we're going into. But it's not only exciting because we shouldn't only be cheerleading the movement, we should be talking about a direction for the movement and what kind of a direction we need to be giving to the movement. Because let's be clear about one thing. Without the UCU and the NUS having called through the official bodies a mass demonstration on the 10th of November, we would have not had the confidence to come out in full force. We would have not had 5,000 people lay siege to Millbank. And I think that's the pressure we need to be ramping up on our official bodies of the unions up and down the country, whether it's local or whether it's on the national level, to make sure that the 9th of December, this Thursday, becomes the ultimate day X for the condemned government and the beginning of the end for what we're to see in this country. Because if we're talking about having a candlelight vigil or a candlelight dinner or whatever they want to have in Parliament, we need to say for every 9,000 candles we need 9,000 torches. For every 9,000 candles that NUS is putting up, we need 9,000 students coming in full force. And I think that's what we need to be putting forward. Tomorrow we have an NUS executive meeting which is being picketed by students coming down and saying how despicable Aaron Porter's comments were, and he's facing a vote of no confidence or whatever now. Take our union leaders who have let down thousands of students, who have let down the students' movement, who haven't been aligning themselves with the students' movement, and shame on them for not calling a national demonstration, but at the same time understanding the need to have the official bodies calling for it. Because the 8th of November, the day before the vote in tuition fees starts, that could be a massive display of power. If we get trade unions together with students holding lunchtime rallies, if we get in the evening, if we get rallies up and down the country in every locality, whether you're in Portsmouth or whether you're up in Glasgow, I think that's the kind of action we need to be seeing. And Aaron Porter himself described the 8th as something along the lines of the 24th and the 30th to myself. So I think we need to turn that day into another display of power, 130,000 strong. On the 9th of December, what we want to see is shutting down London. We want to lay siege on Parliament because a few candles are not enough to go around to the students that will be going to that demonstration, not enough for the trade unionists who will be coming down to the demonstration, not enough for the parents to be going down to that demonstration, etc. And on the day, we are not only talking about education workers coming out, we're not only talking about university staff coming out. We have seen that coordinated action has worked in the past, and we have seen it in the recent month. When the FPU went on strike over the mass sackings, RMT people, RMT officials and trade unionists took unofficial strike action in solidarity with the FPU. So we need to generalize that across the board and I have heard about some unofficial action taking place, but I hope that my ears are going to be illuminated a bit more over the next couple of days. And I think one act of solidarity which particularly stands out is that of City and Islington teachers, because their students have said that they will be picketing from 8 o'clock in the morning and be going on strike. And the teachers will be not crossing the picket lines on that day. And that's when to see that when we came up with, when there was a slogan done by a couple of students, that when they say students, we say strike, students strike, and the rest of it. The next line was, when they say tube, we say strike, bus strike, and then it was general strike. And I think that's really filling. It was at Oxford Circus, and you could have just imagined the faces of the people walking by, 13-year-olds shouting general strike now. Part of this league, has been outflanked by 13-year-olds. So what what we need to do as well is, we need to keep in perspective, for the 9th of December, whatever the vote goes, we need to be confident. We need to be confident that our side has been strengthened through this battle, and not only strengthened by a few hundred people, but strengthened by thousands of people, even by millions of people who have been looking to the students, who now actually think that the cuts consensus not only has been broken, but is going to be defeated in the next couple of months. Because regardless of whether the vote passes on Thursday, the next reading is going to be happening in January of the bill in action, and we can actually make sure that it's going to be defeated. Because the French students in 2006, with the CPA laws, the laws which would eliminate young workers' rights, actually was passed through Parliament, but subsequently it never was implemented. And that's what we could be looking for. That's the kind of perspective that we need to be bearing in mind when we're talking about this bill on Thursday. Because what could happen is, like the famous saying goes, it goes up like a rocket and down like a stick. But in reality, we need to build on the momentum that we have and inspire and bring them into the streets, the millions of people. Because what we have on the 11th as well, it's short time that we only have, but I think it could be either a victory celebration on the 11th of December, when we have localized demonstrations, etc. in our areas, or it could be this is a fucking riot. Because if the vote passes and some people of the Labour Party, like Alan Johnson, do not vote against the rise in tuition fees, you can see what the betrayal will mean. And I think that the 11th of December needs to be the slogan to be, the struggle continues, we will not let ourselves be defeated. And on the 13th of December, 8 or 9 national trade unions have called for a day of action to save EMA. And I think our movement has been very strong and has been key in putting Save EMA onto its platform, onto the agenda. Because before that, nobody was talking about EMA in the US. Nobody had been talking about it, and now you have 9 national trade unions coming out and saying save EMA. So without the 9th of December, I think that means we need to be going all out for the 9th of December. I think the 9th of December will show which way this movement will go, which will show which way the government will fall, and which way we will win. Thank you.